Alright everybody, in video number 2 here, let's try to see what happens here. So what you don't see is you think you have Marley getting the ball out here. She gets the ball, she moves into Mariana. And one of the reasons I've watched this clip many times, I've realized one of the mistakes that we're making is we're moving to the wrong side of the field. So if we can see right here, this happened after we were able to successfully stop the ball. Okay, and then we get the turnover. But Phoebe and Jamie are both on this side of the field. Phoebe really should stay on that side of the field. So defensively, we want to kind of stay on the side of the field that we are on, especially to help move that along. Okay, and additionally, the midfield players need to move. So there's no reason that Mariana's way back here, and we have Jamie already standing way up front here. We need to make sure that we cycle the midfielders to the midfield and keep the defenders down to the defensive end. So again, we talked about this, why this didn't work. She gets the ball. That was a very long pass. I think I mentioned this in the last video. Let's take a lot of going back and forth here. They get it. And so again, here we're, we are not, we're off place, right? So if we're a low defender, we need to worry about being low, okay? Otherwise, it gets us off. Then we're having to scramble and run, 40 something yards to get down there. We have to trust our teammates that our teammates are going to be further up the field and carrying that ball forward. Let me give you a soccer analogy here. So in soccer, we have typically in a situation we call 4-4-2, right? You have 4 defenders in the back, 4 midfielders, and 2 strikers up front. You'll never see a striker all the way back down here. Likewise, you're never really going to see a defender, if they're one of the 4 defenders, moving all the way up, towards the attacking end, right? And in addition to that, if you're a right back, so let's say you're a right back defender over here, you're never going to be crossing into this side of the field playing in the left back spot. You have to stay in your area. So in lacrosse, when we're transitioning, we need to think about it in those terms as well. So here we get the ball. We're bringing it down. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so now Marley's set, good. Jamie is set, good. It looks like Mariana is set, being one of the high ones here. And here's the other area. We should have another one up high, which looks like it's Amelia, and we should have somebody at the elbow. So in this position, there should be another midi at the elbow, which I'm assuming would be Harper, if she's still in the game at this point. Okay, and so right now you can see that we are, we're coming in. We've got 2 players. The rover is looking to pick up the cutter if she's coming, and we're not really sure what we're doing here. We should be going to the elbow or checking in to grab this girl there. As she goes in, she goes straight in. She gets that ball. And honestly, the reason that the ref called that back is because from his perspective, which he's over here, all right, it looks like Mariana went into the sphere to check out, to check that ball. Either way, they get it. They get a free position shot. And again, really good job there. Why? Why did we do a good job? Because we did not go to the ball. We went to where she's going to be. Marley took a very good line to the front, caused the girl to realize, hey, I don't have this right-handed shot. Amelia kept going in, gets in front. Excellent job at stopping her there. It does leave this girl open on the backside there, but fortunately for her, she didn't see it. Okay, so this moment is just a little bit further ahead in the video once we were able to move that ball out. As you can see, that's the girl that just drove in there. She comes out, she throws it to this girl. Now here's where a little bit of a problem in the defense. We have the rover coming up and marking up this girl here. That should not be the rover's job. Remember, the rover's job is to pick up the cuts inside the 8 to prevent the pass going to the cuts. It is not a drive prevention defense. It is a cut defense you're trying to keep the cuts from happening, right? Or the cuts from getting the ball. So in this one, we need to have the middies coming out. We have Mariana going to. Mariana should go, she's the furthest midi up. She should be going straight to ball and letting the other middies recoup, number 7, and letting the rover deal with whoever is going to cut, maybe do a flash cut. But right now, we have Alexis guarding the ball, which puts people out of position. What are we doing here? We're guarding the ball there, but is that the correct position for where Harper needs to be, or should that be You know, I mean, I guess that's fine because I guess that would be the elbow player there. If Mariana comes up here, we got confuzzled when that drive went in and when we crashed, that we didn't go back to our designated spots. That's something, again, that we need to always think, I need to go back to my spot. All right, either way, we're marked up. Phoebe could be hedging a little bit in the inside here because now you've got 1, 2, 3 players there. We're behind the ball on this one. Fortunately, she doesn't see it. And now we can say, okay, we're there. Now, why did this happen? This happens because Alexis took her eye off the ball. Correctly, mind you, because she sees the cutter. So she says, hey, my job is to the cutter. Let me go back in. But when she does that, there was maybe not communication here. And also, again, why are we moving up towards the ball? Why are we stepping to the ball? If we're stepping high like this, we're going to get beat as she gets beat right here. You need to be very low, taking very small, quick steps, kind of hedging your way up to the ball if we're moving up because we're anticipating that she is absolutely going to run. And this is what I tell you guys about. When we get caught flat-footed, relaxed, the other girl is absolutely going to take advantage of us. And she gets in. Alexis then tries to return, recuperate that, does a good job. And at this point, I would have called a shooting space on Jamie on that one, but she does a good job of getting herself in there. Takes the shot, bounces off the goal there. And here's an example I keep telling you guys, you have to hold your line more than anything else. If you try to stop the girl, it's never going to happen when she's moving. And here you can see that Mariana tries to, instead of staying back here and allowing this girl to come up to her where she can hold the line, which we've done successfully before, 2 times already at this point in the game, what ends up happening is we get in front and that girl quickly turns to the inside. And so at that point, there's no play. There's no play on this defender if you think about it, right? If we had played, if we had held this line and maintained this defender here along this line right here that I'm using my cursor to, then we would be able to go and initiate a double team. But because we lose our line, now both players are on the opposite side and we've completely obliterated that possibility of doing that. Okay, and so what happened previously to this is Amelia got the ball, she started going up, she threw eventually a pass to Layla dropped the ball, and then Sequoyah picked up the ball and they started to transition back down the field. And this is where we have to have field awareness, we have to know where we are, where we need to go. We can't just play for the moment, we have to be playing, understanding that we have a role in a specific spot that we have to play. If we do that and we understand my role on the team, then I can get there. For example, Jamie is going down to her spot there. She's fine. She doesn't need to get back down there right now because there's nobody down. Well, never mind. There is a person here. So she's staying even with that person. She's correct. Here's Phoebe seeing the person there, and she's like, hey, I'm going to have 2. This is where this person is not yet a threat. I know we are quite far behind here. But we need to, if Harper is going to be playing at this elbow, she needs to be making a beeline cut straight to that elbow as quickly as she can because she needs to be seeing who is going to get into my zone. And that's the difference in mentality. You need to be thinking who is about to go into my zone. I need to get to my zone to protect my zone. I believe this is Alexis here. Marley needs to quickly start making her way to get down into her zone as well. Again, she's not in a super hurry, but she needs to make sure she can. At this point, she can backpedal because all the other Sequoyah players are so high up. The rover or the backer, again, we're not playing her here. She's no threat over here at the 30-yard line. We can go ahead and drop back down to the 8 and wait there until the cutters start to go. And so here we can see that where we are, we've adjusted, but here's that problem. We have got to get over here because now Phoebe has this choice. I have to go with somebody. I have to either go with this cutter that's going in because the rover is not roving, okay? Because, again, we don't have midfielders up here. And I understand Amelia is back here, but this is where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6v6. I'm assuming there comes a 7th player there. So we should be able to mark this up and still be able to defend until we get that there and we can engage that rover. But this leaves this girl on the backside open, which the girl decides not to do. Let's take a look at that real quick and what happens there. And again, this is just miscommunication. If she's here, you know, and Alexis in her mind is trained to be like, hey, I need to go for the cutter. I hear the word cutter, and so I'm going to go to the cutter. But when we do that and there's not a single person marking her up, there's nobody marking up the ball, then she just decides, well, there's no one there. I have a free length shot, which she absolutely did. We were worried about the girl. Why do we have two standing in the same spot here? Okay. And again, not trying to call anybody out, but this does not look like a full-blown sprint to get back on defense. Looks like a nice jog. And we let that happen. So honestly, that was, I would say, if I had to chalk up who was to blame on this one, I would say the 3 middies were predominantly to blame on that one. And Alexis going in for the cut when she had the ball, she should have also realized that nobody was on the ball there. And again here, we win the draw because the other player moved, so we got free possession. It was a 50-50 contested ball, so I'm not sure who would have gotten that ball. But here again, we do something that I keep trying to teach your girls not to do, and that is we have 1, 2, 3 girls marking us up. You have 4 players behind you that are wide open, but instead what we choose to do is we choose to get here. We have pressure on. I've been telling you girls all day long that when you have pressure, drop, move to swing the ball, you're always going to have a trailer. You have 4 trailers behind you here. We could have, we could have her here. We can have somebody drop back. We can have Alex come over here. So, for example, if we were to drop the back to any one of these girls here, drop it to Phoebe. Phoebe hits Jamie or Marley. At that point, Alex can come over here and pick up the ball into this beautiful open space that's right there. But instead, we see the player there, and I understand you're thinking, oh, I see an open player. But again, you have pressure. And by the time you throw the ball, that girl is right there. That's what I'm trying to get you girls to understand too. You think a girl is wide open, but if they're standing still, they're not open. Because as she's standing still, by the time the ball's in the air, the girl is right there, and we miss the pass. And lastly here on this right, what you're going to see is that she starts to bring up the ball into center. We have 1 player open here. These girls are all marked up. This girl's slightly open, but she's kind of far away, which means that if she was to make that pass from here all the way out to this girl here, we should be able to come in from there and intercept that ball. So good job marking. Well, I say good job, but these 2 girls are on the wrong side of the ball, right? And she's on the correct side of the ball there. But what ends up happening is right before she makes that move, we decide we're going to engage right here, and we put on the brakes instead of continuing to run to this ball. So there's not communication here as to who's going to get it. And as you can see, she reads that, sees the open player, and makes the pass to the open player. And as soon as she gets that, again, we're trying to stop her in the midfield. There we go. She runs out. It's fine. Let her have the midfield. Hurry back. Let's establish our defense. And we're going to continue there in a second. And just to finish up here, let's see how she drives this ball here. She goes in. She's coming with the ball. She passes it there. And again, we have, because we're not getting to our spots quick enough, we have 1 person trying to guard her down here. We're slowly getting to our defensive position there. She's getting to the elbow. So now Marley's at the elbow. We're covering here. We're stuck now on this 2v1 situation where the girl goes in. We are not crashing into the ball quick enough. And as a result of that, she gets right in. And let me back that up just 1 more second. Sorry about that. And again, Alexis reads that and gets in there, tries to get in there. But again, you need to get into where she's going to be. We kind of ended up going to where she is. So we see her coming. We need to make that beeline to get in front of her. You're going to be able to stop her much better if we go in front of her instead of right where she's going to be. We end up sandwiching her. She gets through and still makes that shot.